Opinions are like banana bread. You either like it or you're a bad person.
Welcome back, everyone, to For These Are My Thoughts. I'm Blake, and today I am joined by John David Karolus. John, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting me in my own home. Um, First of all, thank you.
Yes, thank you for inviting me into your home.
I wish you would have said, for these are our thoughts, but if you're only planning on sharing your thoughts today, then I guess there's nothing
We,
we need to change.
I share I say For These Are Our Thoughts at the end. It's a joke.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Exposed. He's never listened to the end.
Wow. This will be
I
fun.
I did watch the Snack March Madness,
Oh,
though I did skip around a little bit
yeah.
because I don't need to watch you eat a peanut butter cup 8 times.
I think that if I do that again, it'll be two episodes, two shorter ones, so that it's not as much eating.
I mean, it made me hungry.
But today we're not going to talk about that. No, no. Today we're going to talk about unpopular or divisive movie opinions. But before we do that, take a minute to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Right now we're trying to hit 100 subscribers because small goals matter.
I've done my part, so now it's your turn to do yours. And if you're not a violent person, just click the buttons.
Just oh yeah,
Just click them.
you can just click
Maybe
it.
make another Google account and click it twice.
Two for two. Nice, yeah. And the first 100 subscribers are going to receive a special shout out on a future episode of For These Are My Thoughts once we hit 100.
And maybe a goodie bag.
Maybe John thinks that he's going to get a goodie bag. We'll see.
Maybe limited edition trading cards or stickers,
Maybe. Um,
temporary tattoos.
temporary tattoos would be cool. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about our unpopular movie opinions. These are our opinions. And if you don't agree, that's fine. If you do agree, even better.
I'm
You
not
can
sure we'll agree, so maybe we will.
maybe. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Also, a quick shout out to the video. I'm drinking out of Stone Creek coffee. Pint glass available, I think, to purchase. And I can attest to the fact they hold water really well. Anyways,
Coffee have a website.
uh, yes, and you can find it on your own if you Google Stone Creek Coffee or add.com to the end. I don't want to plug them any more than I've already supported them. I've, you
Yeah,
know,
Stone Creek Coffee. If you're listening, you can sponsor me for a hefty sum. Maybe
Blake
not
doesn't
hefty.
Blake doesn't drink coffee yet, so
I don't drink
sponsor
coffee.
me
You could be
instead.
the first. You could be the first.
I actually I'm going to say this. I'm going to commit to this. Within 12 months, I will have one, two, if not three coffee review vlog videos posted on Stone Creek Coffee.
Whoa.
Committed.
All right, I'll give my first opinion. My first opinion is that Frozen is not nearly as good a movie as Tangled.
Well, that is a hot take, Blake.
I think it's true.
That's a hot take because I know there's a lot of the American population that would probably disagree with you, only because their kids were too little to watch Tangled.
Watch Tangled, yeah.
Now, I was too. I was the opposite of that. I've never seen Frozen,
Really?
and never seen Frozen. Never seen Frozen 2. I think it was on TV once when I was in my girlfriend's dorm room in college, but I didn't. I wasn't watching it. Nor was I in there long enough to finish the movie, so I never actually saw the whole thing. But I've seen Tangled probably 9 times. Big fan. Flynn
Yeah,
Rider, who doesn't love a name like that? Disney prince and villain at the same time. He'll steal your heart but save the kingdom. So
yeah, and that's all I have to say. If you like Frozen, I don't care. Uh, you
I
can
know
like what you like, but
I'm related to some people that have strong feelings about that movie, but I'm not one
really,
of them. I won't.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Frozen
yeah.
is
One of my
just not
sisters is
better
a.
than Tangled. Tangled is way better.
I think that the art is better,
Mhm.
the story is better, the gameplay is better. Wait,
John plays Tangled the game. Confirmed.
on my iPhone 4. Just kidding. I wasn't rich in high school. Uh, I think that's a good unpopular opinion. I think that you'll find some good pushback for that.
Yeah, I just don't like. I really don't like Olaf. I don't think he's that funny. The snowman. I think that the chameleon is better than the snowman.
Yeah, I like the chameleon because he's not really a consequential character, but you really fall in love with him.
Hmm.
Kind of makes you want one. Best movie, best Western movie ever. Cowboys and Aliens. Cowboys and Aliens. Now, a lot of people didn't watch this movie. Um, Came out in 2011. They didn't watch it because it was called Cowboys and Aliens, and I almost was one of them. Um, However, that was also around the time in my life where I learned to appreciate Daniel Craig as 007, James Bond. And I thought that those movies were really, really artfully done. I thought the story was great. I liked I thought they handled James Bond well.
Hmm.
And so I was like, I can trust Daniel Craig alongside Harrison Ford. So if I'm going to trust, this is the movie that taught me to trust the cast a little bit, and I've been burned by that before. I've been burned by that, but not in this movie. So you got Olivia Wilde, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, and a bunch of other no names, and they put together a compelling story, great sci-fi, western, alien, humankind, triumph of the man movie, and I think that you'd like it. So I'm going to say best western movie.
I have seen that movie. It's good.
It's great.
Is that the one where the grandpa's like, "Quit yanking on it. It's not your."
I think so.
Yeah.
I
I,
think it is. I think it is. I'm sad to say that that's the first line these listeners are going to hear from that movie.
I'm not. But um, yeah, I like that movie. I don't think it's the best western, but it's good.
I
I will
think
give you that.
I think it's the special effects are very good.
Hmm.
It's kind of like it's in that western genre with like the new Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp
Hmm.
as the
Tonto.
Tonto. I was going to say as the Kimosabe, but that's what he says, not who he is. Like weird, goofy, but compelling. I mean, there's nothing funny about the movie. They're not trying to be funny in Cowboys and Aliens, but
Hmm.
plus, if you're into Olivia Wilde, she's in that movie. So,
Olivia Wilde has not been in many movies lately.
well, wasn't she dating Aaron Rodgers?
Mm, that's Olivia Munn. And Olivia Munn was dating Aaron Rodgers. Now he's dating Danica Patrick, former NASCAR driver.
I have a really bad characteristic where famous people that have some resemblance to each other, it could be physical, it could be in name only, they turn into one identity in my mind. Anyways, um, there's a little nugget. What's your second point? Now that we've established Cowboys and Aliens as the greatest Western movie of all time.
So you mentioned James Bond. In my opinion, has to do with James Bond. And mine is this is divisive, but I don't know why it's divisive. And it is that I think it would be awesome to have James Bond portrayed by someone of color.
Mm.
Like there are people that think that James Bond should just be like a white British guy, and it's like, been there
Who
for
is
that.
the next one?
Daniel Craig is still the next one. There
No, no,
and
no. He's coming out in August, but
there's
there's
one after.
another. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Uh,
I wanted
Oh
to be
wait,
Elba, but
yeah, I
James.
thought that he was kind of rumored to be taking him on. I guess it has not been announced.
Oh, well, I hope it happens because I think that'd be awesome. I don't understand people that are like, "Oh, James Bond has to be this way." Meh. It's like, nah, I'm okay with it. I'm totally fine with that. I think it'd be awesome. I think that
Yeah,
James Bond does have to be British or like from the UK, I guess. But that's
yeah,
the characteristic I think of.
definitely MI6.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that in the 20th century movies that came out, there was a ton of stuff that they wouldn't get away with today, as far as his actions toward women and uh, actions. Probably, there's probably racial stuff slipped in there that I don't know
Probably.
about because I haven't seen those movies. But you
I
know,
saw a video that was like the top 10 worst things James Bond has done, and probably half of those is things that he did to women. And it's shocking.
uh
I'm kind of glad that like Daniel Craig's is not necessarily as bad as the old movies. Like Sean Connery as James Bond does some pretty awful things.
yeah. I think like the first one that Daniel Craig was in was it Casino Royale.
Yeah. Hmm.
That one, in the opening, he like gets it on with the wife of that kingpin or whatever, and then it's someone else later in the movie. And then that's I think the only movie where it's two people. And then the other ones, it's always one love interest. And like
Hmm.
um, Quantum of Solace, I don't think there's an intense even love scene. I think like they just survive so much together that they end up kind of being
Right.
together.
I think you're right. Yeah. Which is so
But
refreshing because like I remember as a kid when Halle Berry was the Bond girl and like everyone was reporting it on the news and I was like even as a young child I was like what does it matter? But I guess I hadn't hit puberty at that point yet. Okay, moving on. Moving on.
I don't get it.
Moving on.
So, I'm going to agree with you. I think that'd be cool. I think, you know, um, there's a lot of iconic UK actors and actresses. I wouldn't be opposed to like seeing a female James Bond. I think there'd be some coolness to that. I've got two movies left, and I can't decide which one I want to talk about because one is my favorite movie, which is Disney's Tron Legacy. And no, I'm not a true Tron head because I haven't seen the original one. I didn't see Tron the next day. I didn't even know that was a thing until today. Um, I didn't watch the animated series that came out, but that movie introduced me to um, 80s music, kind of, sort of that synth wavy,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat of like 80s fan fiction music, the stuff that comes out these days, but is based on the idea of the 80s. And then it also introduced me to Daft Punk,
Mm.
and that came out. I watched that movie. I think once I got hooked on it. We watched that movie like 10 times one summer while
Mm-hmm.
we were in high school. I was like, oh, we're going to Ben's house. Better have Tron ready because that's what we're watching. And uh, I like the story of it. The CGI with Jeff Bridges, this younger guy, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of Tron being, there's some major spoilers here, Rinsler. I think that's cool. Um, and then a couple years after that, Random Access Memories by Daft Punk came out. It won the Grammy for Album of the Year in 2013 or 2014. And so I don't know, it was somewhat formational for me. And then the other movie is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and that movie is just tragically underrated. And you should watch it.
Yeah,
It's
I would agree.
gory, which is unsettling, and it's about vampires. But there's some interesting stuff. It's a little cheesy. The effects are cheesy. There's some scenes that are cheesy, but the part when he walks into the plantation and the bass guitar riff just starts going and he starts ripping apart these vampires in a plantation house in the south, like it just there's nothing quite like it.
I think that movie really impacted my life. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, because it allowed me to watch movies and not take them super seriously and still enjoy them. Like, I think for a while I was a bit of a movie snob,
In a
um,
bad way.
in a bad way. And then I watched that movie, and it was like he literally just picks up a cow and like throws it around, or a horse or whatever, and just like whips it around. It's like that is awesome. Like,
Yeah, yeah. When they parkour over a running horse herd fighting each other, yes, it does something to you when you see that.
and like I like that movie that it ties in different, or it ties in like things about history that actually happened in the Civil War, like when they collected all the silver. Like that's a real thing. I'm pretty sure that happened during the Civil War, and they tied that into the movie, like to kill the vampires. And I was like, oh wow, that
Yeah,
could have
it's
happened.
I and it's it's Abraham Lincoln. What's not to like?
Have you seen the regular movie Lincoln with Daniel Day Lewis?
No, I was
I
shaking
have.
my head, but I realized I'm the only one that can see my camera.
Maybe you agree and disagree with some of our opinions. Maybe you don't care and you just thought it was funny. Either way, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. John, thank you so much for doing this, for being
If you
on.
make it through the podcast or the YouTube video and you don't watch these movies, just don't text me. Cut yourself out because at least do us the favor.
Please do us.
Now, I'm not going to go watch Frozen.
No, but you should watch Tangled.
But I've seen Tangled and I've seen all the other ones. And so please watch one of them. Tell us what you think, because I will fight for my movies in the comment section to the point of giving up friendships. So
Ring
that's
the
my
bell.
piece. Thanks so much for having me, Blake. Uh, thanks for having me here. And I relish the opportunity to come back. And that's it. My recommendation. I think you're going to ask me. Maybe you only asked that the first time they're a guest.
I was going to ask it again, but I figured that it would be to watch those movies.
Well, I thought that was a given.
Do you have another recommendation? Is that what you're saying?
Today, I'd say if you have the kind of relationship with your mom where you can hug her, every time you see her, you should hug her.
Mm.
And if not, um, find that somebody you can hug where it's just a nice support, love based hug. And you know what? If it's me, I can be that guy. So can Blake, especially Blake. If you see us at the same place, we'll both do it simultaneously. So
That would make it easier for me. Uh, that was an oddly heartwarming way to end this video.
I'm a heart warmer. What can I say?
Oh man. Well, nice. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for watching and liking, commenting, and subscribing. Until next time, these are our thoughts.
These are our thoughts.
We'll see you soon.